So I know you're a huge fan of Kanye West.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
How has
yes.
that been?
Yes. Are you guys still friends?
You've heard about this whole anti-Semitism thing he's been talking about?
What?
Yeah. Apparently he hates Jews, apparently, is what he was saying.
Not Kanye.
Look, all I can tell you is my experience with Kanye West, which was in 2017. I ended up getting involved in his he did a basketball run. I literally met him on the basketball court. First time meeting Kanye, by the way, full court 3-on-3, me guarding Kanye.
Why was it full court 3-on-3?
Just to get that run in. And we only had 6 people there.
But whose idea was that? Why not keep it on the half?
I think people just wanted to exercise more.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's my first time meeting him.
How was he? How did
he play?
Yeah.
Very interesting game. Like, good shooter, but
I feel like a very awkward form.
He just is so weirdly good at finishing around the hoop in a way that you're like, that's never going to work. And he like does these weird finger rolls that go in fairly consistent.
Wait, Kanye can hoop?
Yeah.
Wow.
He can hoop a little bit. Anyways,
Forgiven.
my experience with him, I would like play basketball with him for like a year, like twice a week, and like it involved into like he would invite me to come to his workplace and like show me the new music he's working on and the clothing, and like I like had a real, and he was nothing but nice to me the entire time. Like truly, like was one of the nicest. Like, and this is my hero. Like no one, I told him to his face, I don't know if I would have the self-belief that I have if I wasn't, like my formative years weren't like listening to this other person having this like insane self-belief in himself and like that being the soundtrack to my life. And I believe that, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I owe a lot to his art for like making me, my attitude is probably formed by like early Kanye. And we had a great relationship. He's like, he changed his number at some point, like to the point where like, you know, he does that a lot. I think where he changes his number.
You probably have to at that level.
Changes his team. And I just lost touch with him for, you know, just the way, and I haven't seen him in like 4 years. And I obviously see all the things that, and I was like surprised because like, I don't think in his heart Kanye dislikes Jewish people. You know, I know he knows I'm Jewish. I know he likes me. You know what I mean? So in my heart, I feel like he probably said something and it was the wrong thing. I'm not denying that he'll say the wrong thing often. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might have said the wrong thing. People got outraged. I think the thing that he can't stand the most is when people tell him what he can or cannot say.
So then he leans into
He leaned into it. And that's the reality. Now, I don't think you should be leaning into it. I'm not saying what he did is the right, like, I think that there should be a sensitivity to, like, Jewish people, you know.
You don't think that at his core there's anti-Semitism?
I don't. I don't think so.
at his core is rebellion. And right now, this is the thing.
That's kind of what, now this is really me theorizing. I'm not that close to the situation. I played basketball with him like for a year, but let me tell you, he was the sweetest man. Like, I watched him interact with a variety of different people being really nice. And so that's,
I can see that with him, like just being such a, I don't want to say contrarian, actually just caring about freedom so much that... That's
the thing. I really think that, like, the Trump hat, like, do I think he, like, loves Trump's policies? No. I think he wore the hat one time. People were like, you can't wear that. And then he wore it for a year.
No, I'm going to do it, yeah.
I think he does feel like we're controlled a lot by, like, media and, like, opinion. And I kind of see a lot of interesting thought process in terms of, like, him being at the forefront of, like, he really is always ahead of the curve in a lot of things. That being said, you know, my mother is outraged by his comments, and rightfully so. But I think at his core, I really believe he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
You're friends with both of them. Who's the better artist, Drake or Kanye?
Better artist?
Artist.
Man, I can't even, they're both, here's what I'll say. I was in the studio one time with Kanye, and it was just like me and Kanye and one other man, and it was like already I'm like, this is the best day of my life. Like I'm like showing him the Freaky Friday music video before it's even out. I have my best bullet of content that I've ever had before it comes out to like show.
Did he watch?
Yeah, and he was like, that's amazing. And then Drake walked in.
Get the fuck.
And I had no idea Drake was even coming. And I'm like,
so they were in the studio together?
This was a while ago, but yes, they've worked together plenty of times. This is back in like 2017.
They have like a real frenemy thing.
And I'm in there with both of them, and I took the opportunity to be like, fellas, let me just tell both of you while you're here that you guys are so by far my favorite 2 artists of all time that whoever is third, what a sizable gap there is between you two and that third place. And that's how I feel about them. Like, I think Kanye was coming when I was a kid, and I love Kanye's music. And like, you know, not only just the messaging behind like the ambition, but also the musicality and like doing like, that shit sounds better than ever. And it's like so original and so great.
Is insane,
and Drake came along right when I became like a rapper. And like, man, nothing has inspired me more as an actual rapper and musical artist than Drake. Like that guy, every time I feel like I'm like hitting a lull as a rapper and I'm like, I don't know how much I want to go to the studio today because like I kind of am a little bit like in a writer's blocky situation where I'm not loving. Then Drake drops like the most inspiring shit I've ever heard and makes me like total. And both of them have been so nice to me. So I can't really delineate between Drake and Kanye. They're just my favorite artists ever.
I also want to know, whenever you get into a situation, like you're at like a party and there's someone that you really admire that's there, what is your protocol for how to interact with them? Because you're just a regular dude from Philly, all of a sudden now you're at these Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
What do you do? I'll try to have an organic, I won't like be like angling the whole time, like, okay, there's Brad Pitt over there, I'm gonna go inch my way closer to him, hope he sees I'm not really strategic like that, but if I end up being in the same conversation, look, they either have seen my work, and honestly, if they have, they probably really respect me and like me, or they've never seen my work, and I'm just a guy. And I think everything I've done in my career has spawned off the premise of the way I behave in real life tends to be a way that people enjoy. Like I really just started as like an enjoyable, funny, conversationally pleasing man. And that's how I carry myself. So I just act the way I act with whoever I'm meeting, not with like designs of like winning them over and getting them in my show, but like I just want, the same way I'd want to be liked by anybody. I try to be liked by whoever I'm talking to and try to be a charming version of myself. And oftentimes it leads to positive creative synergy if later I'm like, I have a great idea for this person. Oh, I met them at that one party. Like when I call them, like, I remember that guy. He's cool. He's nice. He's not a weird guy. A lot of artists are really introverted and like don't want to be approached and don't want to be talked to. I'm just not that way. Like anytime a fan comes up to me and talks to me, like I find it minimally, even if it's the most brutally awkward interaction ever, I'm like, what a unique human interaction that was that I'll forever remember the specificity of and be able to like mine comedy from. Yeah. Or they'll be like really normal and shower me with praise. Like either way I don't lose, So I just think I approach everything the same way I'm talking to anybody. And that I think is why a lot of these icons resonate with me because they can tell that I'm just being myself.
But you're comfortable complimenting them and telling them how much you admire them.
Oh, yeah. Like I know how much it means to me when Drake and Kanye tell me they fuck with me. So I know how much maybe it'll mean to someone else if I tell them. I mean, who knows? It doesn't mean anything to Brad Pitt, but like, I sure in my email to Brad Pitt, I certainly said, you have like totally defined like cinema for me for my whole, you know what I mean? Like, and it's true. And the guys like Brad Pitt worked their ass off. And
so that
like,
means a lot to them.
Yeah, they want to influence a generation and a culture, and I think they like hearing that like these new wave of people wouldn't be doing
inspired for sure.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think there's sometimes people maybe in their discomfort withhold their true feelings or admiration for the person that they're talking to.
A lot of posturing. I don't posture.
Yeah.
I like really keep it real at all times.
And I think that is genuinely accepted. Like people like that, especially if it's coming from a real place. Not like you're trying to schmooze them, but when you really, I don't know, I've always felt that like when I really admire someone for a specific thing, not that they're just the famous person around, I really fucking admire them. The conversation is so easy. Yeah. Because you have a million things that you want to say that are nuanced and specific, and they can see that you actually care about the art or the thing that they're doing. Yeah. And it's the easiest flow in the world. It's always uncomfortable, like, when I just don't admire them and I don't care. And in those situations, I'm not going to bother you. I don't care how famous you are. But yeah, I think that is a good point. Lead with what you fucking care about.
I really think the core of my entire being and the success I've had really comes from being yourself. Like I think that's the reason that I'm able to be a white rapper making jokes in a predominantly black landscape, because I'm just not coming in and like trying to like act like Mr. Cool Guy. I'm just like being myself.
Yeah.
And remember, if you sign up, use that promo code Schulz. They will match your initial deposit up to $100. That means you put in $100, you get $100 for free. Go to prizepicks.com.